Hello, I'm Elgato and welcome back to the video. Today I have some pretty interesting news to share with you all, and it is to do with Minecraft Bedrock, because two updates just came out for the Bedrock version of Minecraft. One is exclusively for iOS, it came out a couple of days ago, and it's a really odd thing, so I figured I would explain it. And the other one is for all Minecraft beta users. This is the one we're focusing on today, and this is the one you can see right here. It's a really interesting update because it has changed the menu screen one more time in a way that I think is just universally better. It makes it a lot more recognizable, especially if you are a Minecraft console player. And I wanted to talk about what's inside the update today, because as soon as updates come out, a lot of people look to me as a kind of an explanation as to what's inside there, what's been announced for the future, and all the other sorts of questions you might have about updates. So hopefully you all do enjoy this update video. Please do like it if you do like it, because it helps out the channel a lot and lets know you do want to see more of these every single time an update comes out. But let's get straight into talking about, first of all, the Minecraft 1.4.3 update, which you'll have right now if you're on iOS. Again, the update only came out over there because they were testing an iOS specific only map. So it's a free map available only on iOS. It's downloadable if you have the 1.4.3 update, but if you're on 1.4.2 elsewhere, that is perfectly normal because that was an exclusive update. Not something that's really been done before, but it is something they're kind of trialing out, and I think it's a good way to, it's a goodwill gesture towards iOS, especially given that they don't own Android, they don't own iOS, but they do have a vested interest in Windows 10 being the primary platform, or Xbox, so they could have given the exclusive DLC there. But I think it's a really nice gesture towards iOS players who haven't had betas before, so I'm a big fan of the fact that 1.4.3 was over there. You know, for the platforms, I think platform specific is a weird thing to do, but it's a nice gesture regardless, and I guess they're going to test it and see what happens. So second of all, we have the v1.5.0.10 update. So as you can see, I just realized that the cat's going to be looking wherever I put my mouse. So the 1.5.10 or the 1.5.0.10 update is basically the latest beta for Minecraft Bedrock, and you might be excited because like, oh, there's a new beta, what's inside? Exciting stuff, I'm sure. And the simple answer is, well, I mean, actually not really. So yeah, inside the update, it's bug fixes. The entire, list of beta between now and the final release is going to be just adding in bug fixes, because they're not adding any new features. They have confirmed already. You can't expect any new features in this update. What you can expect, however, is something entirely else, because there's going to be a brand new menu screen, not just in terms of like, okay, again, this. If you haven't seen a Minecraft Bedrock beta yet, the background is beautiful. It looks almost as good as the PC, or arguably better than the Java editions. But the other interesting thing they've changed just in this week's, beta, is they've given us 4 menu options, or it's the same 4, but they've given us 4 more equally laid out menu options, unlike before. And I really like this as a change personally. It's one of those things where it's like, I'm surprised they haven't done it in so long, because again, the old UI is so associated with the Pocket Edition. It's so associated, and it has to exist because they have to have them be a certain size on phone screens. But by having 4 buttons in a row, it looks a lot more like a normal game, a PC game, and an Xbox game, a Switch game. And because Minecraft Bedrock is more universal, it's something that just makes sense on that regard. It looks better seeing 4 of the same size buttons, because it's weird having 2 same size buttons than 2 half ones, because this is what the old menu looks like, just in case you've somehow forgotten. Oh look, I'm here too, because I've got set off the webcam. Hello, I'm IBX Toy Cat, but I don't intend to be here. It's fine. This is an accidental blooper on the live video. So anyway, with that said, as you can see, this is what it looks like over here on the console edition with the non-beta version. As you can see, there's just 4 buttons. It's really weird that they're laid out like this, whereas on the obviously the Bedrock edition, it looks like this, which personally I think is much nicer. Like, just comparing the two side by side, you can see how, like, well, I mean, one of these versions looks a bit nicer than the other ones. I'm not going to tell you which one I think it is, but I think it's definitely the 4 menu options. And yeah, that's the menu. It's a nice thing. And while we're here anyway, because this is a really important change that was never announced, but it is something that if you want to make your Minecraft Bedrock UI look even better, because again, if you look right here, this looks way better than this, and not just because like it's free instead of 4 menus instead of free, or like 3 lines instead of 4 lines instead of free. Why it's actually better is because in the settings, so Minecraft Bedrock, I don't know why it's been like this for a while, but there's only 2 GUI scales you can have. There is 0 and there is -1. I'm not sure what sort of a scale goes from -1 to 0, but if you turn it into 0, you get this mess. So basically, everyone has it set to -1. I don't know anyone who decides 0 is what they like, unless you've got visual impairment issues, which of course, again, entirely fine reasons to. But yeah, so that's your only option as far as changing the UI size. However, there is a secret way to change the UI size in the screensafe area. So again, this isn't an intentional way to change the size, because screensafe is something that goes way back to the early days of broadcast TV, and then it turned into games, because if you have game information, like your HUD for instance, you want to make sure that if a TV isn't displaying all of the image, you want to make sure it doesn't display out there. So let's say the Minecraft HUD is all the way down here. They only want it to display as far as it actually can, and the easiest way to make this better is to turn down the safe area. So safe area means that, let's say that my screen is only showing that much, it will only show me information in that part of the screen. It's again, a lot of old TVs do this. It's not a very common thing now. My monitor shows all 100 of these. I don't know about yours personally, but basically by default, your screen safe area is set to 100, I believe, or it's set to close to 100. But if you turn that, and this is what your UI looks like, it's big, it's bulky, and it'll match a lot like the console, as you can see. However, if you turn down your screen safe area, even though this is, again, this isn't meant for this purpose, it is a secret way, kind of a stealth way, to turn down your screen UI size. Because if we go to 38.6, just like that, as you can see, it looks a lot closer to the Java edition. If we go into the settings menu, everything's a lot easier to see. We can see more options at once, and again, it makes more of a sense in that way. So I would recommend, if you're on a PC, a Switch, an Xbox, to turn down your screen safe area. It's a really handy little pro tip like that. So there you go, pro tips of ToyCat. And because, you know, just as a little secret at the end of the video here, or not really a secret, but just like I know a lot of people are like, you know what, did ToyCat really just talk about menu screens for 6 minutes? I can't believe that. But it's a nice little bonus for all of you for sticking through this, because I think, again, menus are one of the big things that make people not so on board with this version. Oh, by the way, one more thing is that the text up top for beta, as you can see, that gets smaller with UI size 2. But the one last thing I want to mention at the end here, just as a nice little bonus piece of news, is that they actually have confirmed that in the 1.13 next pre-release, they're going to be making packed ice officially craftable from ice, which is, you know, it's a small little change, and that means that you can craft ice all the way into blue ice in the 1.13 update. Even though these are pre-releases and the update's entirely finished, they're making tiny tweaks like that because it doesn't take any development time, and it's something you can expect in a 1.13 update near you. So yeah, new menus, what do you think about it? Again, comments down below. I think if you don't like it, I'm not sure if I believe you, because again, there's like, look, unless you're on a phone where maybe there are some valid concerns, like comparing this, again, old UI to this, it's hard to really justify like why you'd like that more. Maybe though, it's just, you know, me being like a old console edition player, or like played some Java edition too. Maybe if you've only ever played Minecraft Bedrock, you've only ever played on phones and then later on a Switch or something like that, maybe to you this is perfection because it just takes up so little space. Let me know what you think personally in your comments down below. And besides that, I hope you all enjoyed this little bit of a news video thing, and I guess give it a like if you liked it, share if you really liked it, and I'll see you all later today because I'm going to be live streaming, probably, I don't want to promise it yet, but probably doing that cool new challenge I mentioned last Friday, trying to kill the Wither using only a trident, which is really ridiculous, but we might give it a shot anyway. So yeah, with that said, hope you all enjoy the video, because I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.